Yo, what's up guys, Cody here, back at a new video, and in today's video, I'll be ranking all the swords in Blox Fruits. Well, recently I made a video on ranking all the fighting styles and a lot of you guys wanted me to make a video on swords. So here I am with that video. So if you guys are excited for the video, make sure to hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button. We are extremely close to 17,000 subscribers. So yeah, that would be greatly appreciated. Without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. So here we are in the tier list, and as you guys can see, here are all the different swords in Blox Fruits. In total there are 36 swords. So yeah, this is gonna be a long day, but I think we should start with the video. So the first sword that we have on the list is Soul Cane. This is one of my personal favorite swords in the game and is actually a pretty strong sword. The Z move is a stunning move and everyone basically uses this sword with their devil fruits or their guns. Only like a few people use this sword actually to deal damage, but they just use it to stun their opponent and do a lot of combos. And trust me on this one, it is extremely good at stunning people. So yeah, this is definitely going in the very good section. I'm not going to be putting it at the best because on its own, like for example, if I were to deal damage with Soul Cane, this isn't like one of the best swords in the game. You know, there are a lot more better options, but for stunning people and helping your devil fruit out, this one is a very good weapon to use. So moving on into the next sword, we have Pole V2. This one is also a very good weapon for stunning people, but to obtain it, it is very difficult. You guys have to fully awaken Rumble, which is a legendary devil fruit, and then after that you can get this version of Pole. But I think it is actually worth it because this is a very good stunning sword, so this is definitely going in the very good section as well. Then our next sword is one of my favorites, and this is Cursed Dual Katana, the latest sword which got added into the game. Extremely hard to obtain. Well, not hard to obtain, but a lot of time is consumed obtaining it. But it is actually very powerful. Like, the damage is insane. It has multiple one-tap combos. Like, if you guys are new to bounty hunting and stuff like that, you can use this and easily be able to do one-tap combos. Also, the thing which I like about this sword is the looks. Like, the moves are on another level. It's the combination of lightning plus red and black colors, which just looks so sick, and the moves are so cool and like well made. So it's like super fun to use this sword, and also it is very powerful. So yeah, this is definitely going in the best tier, and a lot of you guys would agree with me on this one. Then we have Canwander. This sword is actually very powerful as well. It's just basically like similar to Shisui, but the moves are like a bit more faster and deal a bit more damage, which just means it's insanely OP. Like, it's just a different version of Shisui and a bit more better than Shisui. So yeah, this is definitely going in the best tier. Next one we have is Dark Blade. I'm not even gonna be saying anything about it. It is going in the best tier. But sad part is it is a Robux item, so Blade is worth the Robux. Well, at least if you want to PvP a lot. Then we have the Buddy Sword. This sword is actually pretty good as well, but the thing is, with my luck, I can't seem to be able to get it for some reason. I've killed Cake Queen like 20-30 times, but I still haven't got this sword. I don't know what my luck is, but my luck isn't allowing me to get this sword. But I've heard that it's a decent sword, and yeah, I don't have much to say about this because I haven't used it, so I just don't want to spread like false news. So I'm gonna be putting it in the very good section. I know that it's a decent sword, but I haven't heard that it's like one of the best in the game. So yeah, it's gonna be in the very good section. Then we have the next sword, which is the infamous Cutlass sword, and obviously this is going in the trash tier. It's one of the first swords you get in the game, and to be honest, one of the worst as well. And also, without wasting time, I think we should rank the normal katana here as well, because both of these are very bad. Then we have the Dark Dagger. This sword is extremely hard to obtain. You guys have to kill the Indra boss, which is not a normal boss, as you guys would know. He's a raid boss, so it's very hard to summon him. And then there's only like 2.5% chance, or I think even lower than that, to obtain this sword. So that makes it actually very rare, and I've only seen like a few people use this sword. But we're not here to talk about the rarity of the swords, we're here to talk about how strong they are. So Dark Dagger is actually decently strong. It's mostly good for farming. If you guys are farming, it's good, but the way you obtain it, mostly you are max level, so there's no point in using this sword. So it's gonna be in the very good section. Like, it has one of the fastest swinging speeds, but who needs that if you are PvPing, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna be putting it in the decent tier. Next one we have is pipe. Pipe is just a decent weapon, obviously one of the starter weapons, so it's not gonna be good, so I'm gonna be ranking it in the bad tier. Then the next weapon we have is the Dragon Trident. Like in the previous updates, like in the update 15 and 16, I liked to use the Dragon Trident a lot. Like, the moves were very clean and you can get like super good combos with it. But the thing is, like, with the new meta of update 17, everybody just goes in the air, and usually they are very fast using Electric Claw, have the Cyborg Race and lots of that stuff. So it's actually very hard to use this weapon, but still it's gonna be going in the very good tier for me. Then the next one we have is the Dual-Headed Blade. Who even knows this sword? I'm not even gonna be talking about it. Let's just put it in the bad tier. Next one we have is the Dual Katana. We have Yama, one of my personal favorite swords of the 3rd sea. The main reason I use this sword is for its traveling abilities. Like, both of its moves can be used to travel around, and I just spam them and just travel around the map really fast. So that's the main purpose of me using this sword. But for PvP, it is actually pretty good as well. The damage is good, the moves are good, so yeah, it's a solid sword and will be going in the best tier for me. Next one we have is Gravity Cane. Gravity Cane is just a bit for me, to be honest. Even though after its rework, I still don't like it. Like, some people do like it, but for me, I think it's a bit bad. So yeah, I'm gonna be putting it in the decent tier. So if somebody likes it, it can be in the best tier, but for me, it's in the decent. Then we have the Hollow Scythe, one of the coolest swords in the game. Especially the first move, the tornado type thingy, that is a really good move for PvP. It has like a pretty decent hitbox, so if somebody is running or if somebody is trying to dodge you, you are most likely going to land this. And the second move is a bit confusing for me, but if you guys use it for a bit, then you guys understand how it works, and then you can properly use it in PvP. So yeah, it's a pretty good weapon to use and will be going in the very good section, but for some people it can either be best tier or decent tier. Then we have the Iron Mace. Yeah, we're just gonna be ranking it in the bad tier. All of you guys already know. Next we have Shisui. The love that I have for this sword is uncomparable to any of the other swords. Like, if there was no other sword in the game, I'd still be happy. So yeah, I'm definitely putting this in the best tier. Next we have Bicento. Bicento V2 is actually pretty good, but that was very old meta. Like right now, nobody would be able to use it. You can't even try to use it now because everybody is so fast. The moves are so slow of this sword, and I know the damage is decent, but you can't do anything if you can't even land the moves, you know? So yeah, we're gonna be putting it in the bad tier. Next we have Jite. This was in the meta when 2nd C was at its prime. Jite was one of the best swords in the game as well, especially for its traveling move and for blinding your enemies. This was a very good sword to be used, but nowadays yeah, nobody uses this, so it's gonna be going in the bad tier. And if you talk about it as like a whole sword, like if you were to deal damage with Jite, trust me, you're not going anywhere with it. So yeah, it has to be in the bad tier. Then the next one we have is Shanks Saber, one of my personal favorites as well, going in the best tier. The damage is just so broken. Like, you guys can just one tap a player so fast, like the move so freaking high, your opponent literally evaporates right in front of you. It's that OP. And also it's the sword of Shanks, so it had to be strong, you know? So it's definitely in the best tier for me. Next one we have is Coco. Lots of people like to use this sword, but for me it is just a very good sword. I'm not going to be putting it in the best tier. Yes, the moves are pretty good, especially with control. A lot of people use this sword because they're trying to impersonate Law, but yeah, I think it's a decent sword, but not going to be going in the best tier for me. Then we have the longsword with their builds, and I've seen like a few combos and it seems pretty good, but for me I think this is not it. Like, I'm not going to be using this because I think Shisui, Shanks Saber, Dark Blade, and a lot of those are like so much more better than this. Like, there's not even a comparison between longsword and that. For lots of people, this is not even like a usable sword, but for the pros, I think they can make good use of this. So I'm gonna be putting it in the decent tier. I'm not gonna be putting it any higher than this, so everything is balanced. Then next we have the Midnight Blade, a pretty good sword to be honest for combos and for stunning your opponents, but just not for me. I'm not gonna be using this weapon a lot, so yeah, I'm gonna be putting it in the decent tier. Next we have the pole. Yes, it's a decent weapon, but its upgraded version, the pole v2, is so much more better. So yeah, as the version 1, this is a bad weapon, but as the version 2, it's very good. Next we have Rengoku. In the second seed, this one was used to be the meta. Everybody was using Rengoku to deal one-tap combos, but nowadays I rarely even see people using it. It's a pretty good weapon to use, I think, for combos, but yeah, I think it doesn't quite make it up to the best tier. Then we have Sadi. This is gonna be in the decent tier. I don't actually like it a lot. And also the Vando, I'm gonna be putting it in the decent tier. Both of these are pretty much the same, but a bit different. Then we have the Shark Saw, obviously going in the trash, literally super bad. Then the next yeah, the way you obtain it is pretty annoying, but once you obtain it, this sword is actually pretty good. Then next we have the Spiky Trident. I really like to use this weapon, especially the pulling move and its range. It's like so overpowered in PvP. A lot of people use Kabucha's X move and push their opponent back and then pull them back, and then they deal a super OP combo. Spiky Trident is definitely a pretty good sword to PvP with. Next one we have is a Trident, the normal Trident, not the Dragon Trident. This one is pretty bad, to be honest. I'm gonna be putting it in the bad tier because of the end lag, so yeah, no point using this weapon. Next we have the Triple Katana, the normal one. No use of this, to be honest, so bad tier. Next we have the true Triple Katana. A lot of people still use this sword, but for me, this won't aid it. I never before liked to use true Triple Katana and don't even like it right now, but for some people it's very good and for some people it's bad. So with that, I'm gonna be putting it in the decent tier. Next we have the Twin Hooks. This is actually a very annoying weapon to fight against, and actually a very good one as well. Like, to fight against a Twin Hook player who has like a lot of bounty and knows what he's doing in the game, trust me, you're dead. Well, that didn't happen to me the other day, but now for real, this is actually a pretty good weapon to fight with. Next we have the Warden's Sword, putting it in the bad tier. No point using this because we have so many better options. So yeah, this is the conclusion of the video. This is the end of the tier list and whatever you like to call it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support that you guys give me. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already, and also hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.